I'm Edward L. Jones, born and raised Navy St. New Jersey, Latham Avenue. Went to school, Milltown School, graduated in 1945, put a year and a half in the service, came back out, and went to work for the railroad, worked 30 years for the railroad, right? 30 years for a funeral parlor in Red Bank Child Funeral Home, and I'm just floating around through Neighborsing. I think I'm the oldest living person in Neighborsing right about now, and that's the truth. I don't think there's anybody in Neighborsing my age. Uh, I've seen many changes in the town. Right.
Like what?
Beg pardon?
Like what? What kind of changes have you seen?
Oh, well, I live on Latham Avenue, and then it used to be a florist. Now it's Villa Court, and they got about 89 big houses down there. I've seen sidewalks put in the town. I know the town when it didn't have sidewalks. A lot of the streets are dirt. I've seen all of that. I've seen, I don't know how many changes. The school from Navy Sink. Remember when that was built? That was built in 1940. What else?
Tell me about your church.
Quinn Chapel AME Church. I think I joined the church after I came back out of the service, which was in 1947. Right, I've seen 8, 9 different pastors. About 30 years ago, I was appointed as the vice chairman of the trustee board, which is a position I still hold and would like to get rid of. Uh, I've seen 8, 9, maybe 10 pastors come in. All of them have different ways of doing things, but 50.
You're old enough to remember segregation in this area, right?
Grew up with it.
What was that like, Ed?
Terrible. Awful.
Tell me about it.
I was talking to, who was I talking to? I was talking to somebody, I was with a Ray Sunday, and I was talking to a friend of his, went to school, Ray, Ronnie Carhart, and I was telling him what it was like in the 40s. Segregation was a dog, right? I was in Alabama in uniform, and I went in the place to get my picture taken. And the guy started calling me right out of my name first thing. Called me nigger right off the bat. Told me how people down there didn't like niggers and how he did, and then if I was in town, I never even do, I could come up and talk to him, right? I was 19 years old and scared to death, petrified, right? Because you never knew what they were going to do to you. It was tough. And even when you talk about segregation, it wasn't only in the South, it was here too. It was tougher in this time. And I can remember going to Atlantic Highlands Theater, you had to sit on this side, designated spots. Same thing in Red Bank in the Clark, you had to sit upstairs. I learned to live with it. I learned to cope with it. I have a whole lot of white friends. And I had guys would fight for me, guys would fight with me. Then you had guys who would fight you, right? Because they didn't want you in their spot. It's still here too. People think it's all gone, but it's not. It's still here.
How did you, as a young man, did your family give you any guidance on it? How did you? What went through your mind about how could you be treated that way? It just seems
well, you knew knew you had to cope with it, and you learned to cope with it. That's the way you was done. You knew what it was there, and you learned to cope with it.
But I would feel beaten down. I would feel.
Well, we did.
Did you?
And we still do, because you still get it, right?
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. You tell me why white people think they're superior because their skin is lighter. You tell me that.
Or
And
and
that's where it is. I was in Alabama. Okay, I'll tell you this in the service. You go down the street and you see a white person might pass his house. They'd be sitting with their feet up on the banister, right? Bottom of the socks, black as they want. And they'd call you out of your name. Right? Why? You're not bothering them, but they'd call you out of your name. They thought they were superior. I can remember being in Alabama. Joe Louis was fighting Billy Conn, prize fight. And we couldn't go off the post. Not the black soldiers. They wouldn't let us go off. I remember that, right? Got drafted, right? Not I didn't go in the army because I wanted. I went in there because they made me go in there. Went from Fort Dix to Alabama, right? In a troop train, mixed up, right? Black and white in the same train. Got to Alabama when they unloaded us. We weren't blacks back then; we were colored. Okay, all the white soldiers over here, all the colored soldiers over there. All black outfit. Right? The only thing white in my outfit was my commanding officer. They marched the white soldiers to that side of the camp, and us to that side. And we never saw the guys that we left Jersey with. Right? They went one way, we went another. Everything in my outfit was black except for the company commander. And that's where it was until I got out of service. And I got out of service in '47.
You said
It
it
was,
still exists. I believe
and
it.
it does. It does. People don't think it does, but you know, you go a lot of places they don't want you in there. They wouldn't tell you they don't want you in there, but you can tell by their actions that you're not wanted.